up, guys? I look rough now, but look, I, I wanna sweat. That's my man. Just like sweating. So ghetto. I have to flush the bathroom with a bucket because the toilet doesn't flush by itself. They never came to fix it. So ghetto. I'm so upset, guys. Like, and I think my brain is starting to like adapt to walking again because I was like, something happened, and I was like, I need to go for a walk. As soon as I was like, oh my goodness, because I remember back in the day, I'd be having a bad day at work, and all I wanted to do is go for a walk, and like you don't actually feel it, that chemical releasing in your brain for a walk, but your body craves it if it makes sense. Um, I have to put on my shoes. I am so upset, but let me just get out the house. Oh my God. I prayed about it. I talked to God about it first. Been praying about it, but at this point, all I gotta say is for anyone that's working, like for anyone that's working, always work, always think about, put God first, obviously, but think about your family, think about your health, think about your benefits, think about you first, because that job will always be there. And then even when they're in the wrong, legally, they're gonna try to make you at fault. I am so vexed right now that I'm like, I'm taking my time, and I just need like, if I need a lawyer, I'm gonna get a lawyer because certain things should not happen. If I did what I was supposed to do, and I know I'm required to get benefits, I'm doing that. But the fact that you did not do what you were supposed to do, you're trying to make it as me, that is just wrong. That is just wrong. I'm thirsty, so I need to clean this kitchen. Ooh, you know what? Okay, my mouth is dry. I haven't been drinking a lot of water, guys. I need to fix my shoes, but I'm just gonna get out the house and fix my shoes because if I go sit down on the couch to fix my shoes, I'm just gonna fix my shoes on the couch. Give me a second, guys. I have to fix my shoes. I don't understand why people, when you fight for what is required for you, they want to always twist the narrative. I don't understand that. I honestly don't understand that. Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, if you a job, you like an employer, and you had an employee several times requested for something, and you never did it, and then it got too late. Then when the employee realized they at lost, they are fine for what they require. You want to twist it as, oh, they the one that didn't want it. Like, you see somebody's not playing games with you, and then you're gonna try to. Oh, let me just get myself. I'm going for room. What? Bye. Hmm? I am. Hold on, guys. This is ridiculous. Like, uh, I'm just annoyed with life right now. So, all right. My mouth feels dry. Like, not dry. It has like a weird taste to it. Oh, this one's too big for this pocket. All right. Oh, that guy's annoying. So, hi guys. Good morning. I'm going for my late walk. Just to go late. Um, I had to take care of some stuff this morning, and I slept late. So I need to stop watching these short drama reel. Like these, it's like a short film, but it's like AI generated, most of them, and they're so addicting. So last night I was watching a couple, so it was so crazy. I was watching one short film, on the AI thing. Then when the commercial came on, there was another short film in the commercial. That was interesting to me. So I was watching it, and I was like, I need to go to bed, but I couldn't. When I stopped watching is when I couldn't like watch any more free episodes, because I'm not paying for that. And they're good. They're good. The AI be stupid though. They said, "Oh, we're going down the steps," and the people's running up the steps. Oh my goodness! I was like, "Wait, what?" It'd be so funny. But I was gonna say, um, so this morning I called unemployment um, because now, so I had like two jobs that I was working, and one job fit my schedule perfectly, and the other job is like schedule a certain time of the day, for how many days a week. That's like my lowest paying job. I have the less hours there, and it's the lowest. So, with that job, I basically, um, you know, I always kept it. Like I don't wanna work at that job anymore, just because I'm like, it was a season. I now I think I know I'm out of that season, so I need to get another better, high paying job, right? So, um, I went to work when they needed me to work. I worked, and when they didn't need me to work, I didn't work. And the way that job goes, even if you're for another client on top of the client working with currently, right? Because I noticed some patterns, right? Um, Even though it wasn't bad in the beginning, I just noticed the pattern, and I basically didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that one week I would work consistently, the next 2 weeks, within 2 weeks I would only work 3 days, one day. It was just inconsistent. So I was like, okay, ask them that different occasions, right? So at the end, the day that she said she didn't want me, she said she replaced me, but she didn't want me to work there anymore. She hired somebody else. I asked the agency again, can they give me another client? I need another client because I have more hours now, and now I'm not working with her anymore. So, and mind you, they kept on saying, "Oh, we'll look into." I filed for unemployment a week later because I was like, I'm done paying the waiting games. I waited too long. I still bills are still piling up. I still got expenses. I got a family, and I got myself. So I was like, um, one way or another, financially, I need to, get help because it's not right. It's not right about that. I had asked you guys to give me another client, but you guys did it. And then when the lady said she replaced me, I told you guys, yeah, this is no more waiting. Like there was like a dire need for me to get another client. You guys didn't pull through. So before she said she replaced me, she said she wanted to leave the company. She didn't want to be with the agency anymore. For a lot of reasons. Then she said when she leave the agency, she's going to another agency that would pay me more money. Like, instead of getting paid $14 an hour, I would get paid $18 an hour. It would be more, and I'll guarantee hours, but she would set the time. So I was like, I didn't give her a response just because I wasn't sure about just leaving the agency like that without telling her, because she wanted me to leave with no notice. I should go with the other agency, and I went with her. That's one. The second thing, they had patterns of 1 week I would work, another week I wouldn't work, so I didn't trust that. I was like, why would I leave an agency to go with you to work at another place when bi-weekly I'm not working? It's like, it's not consistent with you. So I was thinking about all of that. So I just told her, I don't know, because I was actually thinking about the pros and the cons. Then I was doing 15 hours in her home to work with her. I was doing 15 hours. When I was doing 15 hours, her insurance said they could bump to 15 to 30. And I was like, oh, okay. Now, when they said they could bump it to 30, that is not guaranteeing me hours. That's not guaranteeing me a secure position, because as I mentioned to you guys, she said 1 week she needs a break. The next week, when she needs a ride like out of town, I could work. But when she doesn't need a ride out of town, she don't let me work. And I wasn't getting her like beers and cigarettes, because that's all she basically wanted. Like, when her day would be good if I got her beers and cigarettes, right? So the last day I was there, she called somebody to ask them for money to get her beer, like 3 cans of beer and 2 packs of cigarettes from the store. And that's what she does, like, when her money runs out, she asks like people for money and stuff. So I didn't do that because, one, the agency don't want you to like, the agency doesn't want you to lend them money, give them money, or more, give them rides. So sometimes every time I was giving her rides, and she asked me a few times for money, and I gave it to her. She asked me for borrow, and I was like, you don't need to borrow it to me. Here's a gift, because I don't need you to borrow money. So what else happened? Hold on. So what else happened? So I basically, there were certain things I wasn't doing for her because I didn't feel comfortable doing that for her, because plus my job is to keep her safe. And I'm aware of certain conditions she has. She's not she should not, life or death situation, drink or smoke. And she's doing that on a regular. So I didn't want it to become like a routine thing. So at the end of the day, when something happened, they call me saying that, oh, you're the one that provided to her all the time. That's why this and that happened. So even though that's not the truth, but for what was as close to me today, that would have happened. So within that week, she said she replaced me. She basically left the agency. She left the agency because she's been saying she wanted to leave the agency, but she wanted to leave with me. But I didn't give her a definite. I told her to know. Then they offered her 30 more hours where I could work with her. So I believe from the consistent pattern that she has been showing in the past that out of the 30, I would work 5 consistent hours with her because she just had these weird patterns. Like it would just be weird, and I know why it was like that. I'm not gonna disclose that on here, but I wasn't working every single time that I was scheduled to work. So when they brought my hours, I started to get to like a panic mode because I'm like, if I leave my other job for this one, how am I guaranteed I'm gonna work every day? How am I guaranteed that I'm gonna work 30 hours? Like, how? There's no concrete evidence that would tell me, oh, you're gonna work this much hours with her this week. Like, because she has the final say if she was gonna come in, if she was gonna come in. So I wasn't sure. So I was like, I was like, we will see. I don't know because the agency called me before she told me that she had 30 hours, and then she ended up telling me that she has 30 hours now, so I could work with her. So me just not being confident in the fact that I would be having, consistent hours, I basically told her like, we will see because it's just up and down with her. So that same week, I left and I didn't leave. I finished my shift. I basically went back to work the day I was scheduled to go back. I knocked on the door and she gonna say, oh, I'll hire another lady to replace you. Then I'm like, what? She said it the first time I didn't hear her clearly. But when she said it the second time, that's what she said the first time. And then that's what she said the first time. So I asked her, did she tell the agency? Because I don't want, because every time the agency see on the cam, or not the cam, but they have some type of app that they see when I clock in and where I'm currently located when I'm scheduled to work with her. So when I'm not working with her, consistently they will contact me. Are you going to work today? Are you with her today? Then I'm like, she told me not to come in. She said this, she said that. She told me not to come into work. So when I'll tell them that, they was like, oh, because she won't let them. Hold on. She won't let them know that she told me not to come in. So I'll be the one that's telling them that I'm not, I can't go in today because she told me not to come in. So where was I going with this? What else happened? She basically, what else happened? So she basically, at the end of the day, she calls the shot. If I come in, if I don't come in. And what was the other thing? within those times, I had asked the agency about, well, not about, I asked the agency 4 times, different occasions, on for another client. At the end, when I told them the same day that she said she replaced me with another lady, um, she said to go home. She had another lady to replace me. I told them that I needed another client. They never gave me the client. They never gave it to me, right? They said they would look into it, and then they asked me the how far I would want to travel and stuff like that. And I told them. Then it was like, oh, we don't have anything right now. And the crazy thing is, what they had was 5 minutes additional to what I told them I could travel. I'm like, why couldn't you just still offer me the position? Because at the end of the day, I could. It's just only 5 minutes on top of what I said, so there's no big difference. They didn't do that. So within that week, I applied for an appointment. The reason why I did that, not because I'm a bum, I don't want to work, or I just want to stay on my butt, not just stay on my butt, collect money. I'm like, I lost. I need to gain something from this loss, because I not only waited on the client, but I waited on you guys to give me a client. If it was 30 minutes away, I would have fight the bullet and travel. You guys, because I remember they had offered me a case that was far, and I told them to up my pay if I'm going to take the case. Eventually, if they needed somebody for that case, they would have bought my pay, because there was discussion about it. Yes, there was no yes or no. So either way, for me, I would have taken it at the time, because even I wasn't working consistently every single week, but I was working like 3 days straight. So I would be able to, how would I say this? I would be able to have gas in my car and travel that 30 minutes away at the time. So within that week, I filed for an appointment. And then within that same week, so that Friday, I don't know, within that same week they called me. They was like, oh, hi. I have a new case for you. And I asked them where it's at. And they basically said it's an hour and some change away. An hour and change away. And I'm like, y'all calling me now after y'all saw the me putting for an appointment. Now y'all call me for a new case. And I'm like, I was like, I told them I would call them back because I was going to pick up my son or something like that, and I couldn't be on the phone. So I went back to the appointment. Well, I went back to CareerLink. I told them what happened. I said I suspect that they see me putting a claim. That's why they offered me a claim, and this is where it's at. And they was like, yeah, they saw the claim. That's why they offer you the case, because this, that, and third. Then I look on Reddit on what to say in that type of situation. You shouldn't say no or yes. Like put them to like say, oh, you need time to think about it. You need time to work things out to get the case, but never say no. So I called them back, and I basically told them I need time to think about it and put things together to take the case. So, mind you, they weren't even thinking about me at the time. They were thinking about their self. They was thinking about their, how I call it again? What they want to cover their behind. So when I did that, they was like, okay. Long story short, unemployment said that I wasn't qualified to get unemployment. I was like, what? this is weird. And then when I went to the Korean Link for them to see, there was like every requirement that they asked you to do, or they asked you to have, you have that and more. So why, like even on the same paper where they said I wasn't eligible because I didn't have a certain amount of weeks of credit, I had that amount of week of credits. So I was like, I don't know. And this is weird. So that one almost knocked the phone out of my hand. Wow. I was a big on truck. So I did the appeal. When I did the appeal, I was like, this is not making sense. Why I'm not getting unemployment? And I basically wrote down what I just told you guys. So I was like, the next day I'm gonna call, but then I end up going in because I know there's a guy from unemployment that's physically there. For some reason, it was hard to see him. He was sending messages out from his office, and he didn't have no client at the time for him to see me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just call, figure out what number I could call unemployment myself because something's not making sense. And then before I left, I found out that they never got the appeal. And I was like, that's weird. I didn't get the appeal because I faxed it and I emailed it. So I was like, and at this point, I'm like, I applied to certain jobs. I haven't gotten anything yet. Within the week that I was replaced, I did get a job, but the lady ended up passing away. But she ended up passing away, and I was like, okay. Which I didn't know it was a hospice job. Hospice employment is basically when you are caring for the individual, making them comfortable till they, you know. So that's what the job was, but nobody knew. I didn't know if it was a hospice space because when I got hired, she didn't tell me that. And the family didn't tell me that. Like after the lady passed away, that's when the other people was like, yeah, it seemed like it was a hospice case because they thought that she had a year left. It was so weird me just saying that, but anywho, within a few weeks, 3 weeks, she ended up, So what else happened? So that right there shows you I wasn't trying to, it wasn't like I didn't want to work or I just wanted to sit on my behind and collect. Even though I know what happened was wrong and I do qualify for it. It's just messed up. So why am I upset today? Why I'm upset and I'm disclosing it today is because today I called unemployment. When I call unemployment, they're basically saying that the job that I told you guys about that I'm calling unemployment for, collecting unemployment for, said that they offered me a case and I declined. I said no. And I was like, that's a lie and that's messed up. That's not the truth. Because I explained to them how 4 different occasions, 4 different times, I told them I wanted another client on top of the client that I had already. And the 3rd time, when I asked them that, it's because I seen I was gonna have more hours, and I told them that I just want another client because the pattern with her, 1 week I work, next week I wouldn't work, was getting too much because I have other bills. I have a family, I got myself, I got things I have to do, I want to do, I need to do. So me working 2 times a week, 3 times a week was not feasible. So I told him that. Then I was trying to tell the lady at the unemployment that I'm like, that's a lie because what I just told you, and plus, when they gave me the case an hour away, how would that make sense if I wasn't working? You know how much gas is now? I have a small car. I had to fill it up. $54. $54. And I haven't been working. I got proof in my bank statement. I only work less than an hour. So, and that day I wasn't even supposed to work. I was supposed to work. She never called to get, no. Okay, this is what happened. I remember. I was supposed to work, right? And when I was supposed to work, that's when she was going through her little 1 week you work, 1 week you don't work. She's in the hospital, but she's not really in the hospital. Like those phases. So the agency asked me to check on her because her insurance is trying to contact her to talk to her. They can't get a hold of her. So they called the agency. The agency called me to go check on her and tell her that to call the insurance because the insurance trying to speak to her. You see? So I went, and mind you, I usually, pass by to see in her apartment, and she's usually there when she's supposedly in the hospital. So that day, I make sure I physically see her. She opened the door. She opened the door, and I basically told her what I just told you guys, but she wanted to ride at Sheetz, the gas station. So I gave it to her. That day, I was supposed to be scheduled for work, but due to the fact that, what I just told you guys, there was no confirmation for me to go to her house to work because she doesn't want me there, she doesn't want me there. So I go, and she asked me for a ride. So guess what I do? I go log in on the app where it says when you with the client or you clocked in, the company needs to see that you was with her in your location. So I clocked in because I'm giving her a service. And normally I don't do that. Because if I'm gonna give you a ride, hey, there's nothing to it. I'm gonna give you a ride. But the fact that she had that type of pattern, and I'm gonna get paid for everything that I do now because she's aware of what she's doing, and she's just being weird. So I was like, okay. I clocked in, brought her to the Sheetz. She got what she wanted, and then I brought her back home. And I also told the agency, like, yeah, I seen her. I relayed the message. I clocked in because I'm taking her here, and then I will clock out when I drop her off. I was like, okay, and they was like, yeah, I seen that you clocked in. We assumed that you was taking her somewhere, so it's fine. So that's what happened. Tell me why that week, only that week, guys, I'm not lying to you, I made $7 that week. That week. Week before, I didn't make nothing. The week after, nothing. $7 whole from that job. And I'm like, this is not right because the ladies, I suspected the agency knew her patterns. Not I suspected. The agency knew her patterns because every single time I'm on the phone with the client, like we on speaker, the agency's talking to the client. She was like, "Oh, this is the longest time you had an aide working with you. She's a good aide. She helps you a lot. You have been with her for a very long time. This is like the first time that you've been working with an aide." And she was like, "Yeah, she's a good worker. She's this, she's that, she's awesome, whatever. You know, just talking, whatever." So, do I honestly believe that? No. And she really felt like that? No. And also, she might have felt like that, but mentally she might have some type of, problem because I really do. I'm not even going that soapbox, but that's what she said. So I was basically, what did I say? So, what was I at? So, that week, I only made $7, right? Because I gave her the ride to the store. Alright, so I when the unemployment office said that the job said they offer you a client or they offer you hours or whatever, you decline. I said I knew I wanted to be legal and public or what's that? Something correctly. I wanted to be legal correctly. I made sure I got information on how to respond to them. I did not never tell them no. I would not take the case. I never said that. I said I need time. I will I will basically get back to them. I'll call them back about me starting with them for that case that they offered me. I made sure I was politically, wait, what's the word? Something correct, and I made sure that I was legally correct because legally, if you straight out say no, legally, they could deny, they could make it really hard for you to get your unemployment. If you legally say straight up, no, I don't want the case. Legally, they can do that. But if you say you need time, yes, you will get back to them at a certain time about the case when you can start. Legally, they cannot. Well, legally, I did do that, but they still give me a hard time. So I said I never told them no, and I explained to the lady. I was trying to explain to her that they only offered me the case after they seen that I applied for unemployment. Not only that, what else happened? What else happened? Trying to think. They're wrong. I had to basically tell the unemployment lady that they're wrong. They know what they're doing. They're just trying to like cover their behind. There's another story to that. Why I said that. So the lady goes, "Yeah, at the end we're gonna write everything that you have to say down. We're gonna write it all down. But I just need certain information. Where are you working? Are you working? Whatever. This, that, and third." So what else happened? Oh, excuse me. Trying to figure out what else happened. So when they told me that they said no, or they said I said no for the case, I felt like my mood changed, and I wasn't like, how would I say this? I wasn't happy. I was like kind of irritated because the lady said what she said that they said on the system, and mind you, 4 different occasions I asked them for a client 4 different times. The last time it was the same day the lady told me, "Oh, she got somebody else to replace me." That same day I asked them. Then they said, "Okay, we're gonna look into it. We get back to you." They never did. They never did. Then when I waited that week, I was like, I'm not waiting no more. I went to go find for employment because, again, you never know if you're gonna get a job soon, or if you're not gonna get a job soon. You need financial help, and it's not like you're asking for free money. You're just asking for the money that you were supposed to work in, plus until you get another employment, you could get that money. Even though if I was working at the other job that I was working 8 hours a week, I was making more money and more hours over there. They offered me a case, two different cases for one case was like an hour and some change away. The other case was 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And I'm like, feasible logistically, that don't make sense. If you know I wasn't working for how long, they're not even thinking about me as the individual. They're not even thinking about the client. Because there was a lot of situations where the client, supposedly she went to the hospital, she left a note on the door saying that she's in the hospital. Um, if she's staying overnight, she would contact me. She'll let the nurse contact me. I told the agency that even though I know it was a lie, I know it was a lie, the agency never been proactive enough to send somebody to check on her, to do a welfare check on her, just to stop by in the hospital, just to see if she needs anything. Do she needs an aid in the hospital? Do she needs a transportation out the hospital? They never did that. They never did that. So the agency, in my opinion, the agency don't care. In my opinion, they only care about the because guess what? When they I call again. When the insurance pay for me to be with her, they already pay in advance with their insurance. It's the agency that gives me the money when I go in. So in advance, they already got the money, right? Because they already got a contract. But it only matters if I get the money, if the money stay in their pocket, if I go in or not. So that's another can of worms. I want to spill it, but let me say the other parts before I get to that one. So when that happened, I basically my mood changed when they said that, oh yeah, they offer you a case, but you take it. Like basically, they offer you a position, you take it. I was like, no. I never told them no. I told them I need time to um, work things out for me to take the case. That's what I told them. I never directly told them no because when I did my research, it's not a good idea on my part to tell them directly no. So when that happened, guys, we were on the phone. The lady on the phone was asking me questions about my job and the other retail job that I have and the job that I got a week after I was replaced. She kept on asking me questions about it. I'm kind of confused on the fact that she kept on asking these questions when it's not the job that I'm claiming for. And she said, well, basically, like, they have to get all my appointments information. So that I kind of didn't like that because I'm like, if I'm not working with them anymore, and y'all see on your system, like how wacky my the time I went to work, how it looks. Why y'all only focus on the job that I currently working or I'm affiliated with? So I give them information. Within her asking me questions, yes or no questions, the phone cut off. She said, how her system was having issues. She's gonna find out why the system's having issues. She she put me on hold. I was on hold, and mind you, I was ready on the phone with her an hour and 10 minutes. An hour and 10 minutes, and I was waiting. I was anticipating to get to the part when I explained to her what really went down. the proof that I have, and how the agency is just looking out for their behind. They're behind. The phone call cut off. I tried to call back. Then on the appointment line said, oh, it's a high volume call. They're busy. Mondays and Tuesdays, they're very busy. Try to call later on the week. I was like, what? So I hung up. Well, actually, I didn't hang up. The thing hung up on me again. So I was like, okay, this is bad. And I didn't want to think about it because it is overwhelming. It is frustrating and it's sad. It's sad because the reality of it, when people say jobs are always going, if you're working for somebody, they're going to look out for them. They're going to look out for their name. They're going to watch out for their back. Even if they're wrong, there's proof that they're wrong. They will always going to try to show what they did and what you didn't do and justify their actions, and for them to be legally right and not be accountable for their wrongdoings. Whew. I'm heading back now. Hold on, let me put the phone down. My arm's hurting. So what happened was, what happened? So I basically am frustrated because I know they're gonna legally try to watch out for their backs. This is why I say that. Because remember how I told you their insurance has a contract with them. They're gonna receive funding for the client from the agent, from the insurance, from the the agency is gonna receive automatic funding from the insurance because they have a contract, right? They have a contract. So if I'm there, it's always a good thing. If I'm not there, there's a lot of explanation because they have. That's weird. You'd be honking for no reason. If I'm not there, they have to explain why I'm not there. Why did I show up? And because there has been so much fraud, people stealing money, client, the aid in the agency, they're very like, you need to explain everything that you do. Why this thing happened. So my proof is there. When they contact me, ask me why you're not at work, I tell them why. I let them know why. And they shouldn't be asking me. They should automatically know. Because the client should have called them, basically tell me, because when I first started, when she wanted a week off, and I should have figured it out from the first time, but how would I know? The first time I worked, there was a miscommunication with the agency and her. When I showed up, she didn't know I was supposed to work, but the agency told me to go in to do more hours because of the hours I didn't do the previous week. So I went. When I went, since she was not aware of me coming in, she had a fit. She cussed me out. She cussed me out. And not only did she cuss me out, cuss the agency out, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I just was like, no, you're coming back working the hours that you're scheduled to work. And she went on another box. So I was like, okay, all right, no problem. I left. But I made sure I told the agency before I left. And then agency calls me within that hour and said, she said you're a good worker. You work and stuff like that, and not like the other aides that came through and worked for her. But she's asked for a week off. She needs a break. I'm like, what? And this is when I first started. And mind you, when I first started, I peeped certain things about her. Like, she wouldn't want me to do physical work in her house. Everywhere I was, she wanted to be right underneath me. And I got proof of that too. And she would ask me to sit on the couch, put like these pins, small pins, big pins, right? For me to divide the small pins and the big pins, put it in one can and put the other one in the other can. I'm like, and mind you, she got a lot of things to do in her house that I can do and I can help her, but she wouldn't let me do it. I don't know what was the point of her proving what she was trying to prove, but she told me not. And that when she was complaining about the other aides, like, this is another thing about me. If I go to a job, like, my thing is, from the experience I have so far, when you start to complain about another employee, you start to belittle them, meaning like they basically, the employees are incompetent, they don't do their job, they just come and just chill and just collect money, stealing money from the company. I start to observe you. I would keep what you said about the other person in mind and be aware of it. Make sure when I work, when I'm around that person, is documented, so nobody would say I didn't do what I was supposed to do. But it will make me focus on you too, because you're too quick to, paint a negative picture on somebody that's not there to defend themselves. So when she said that, since I'm not physically working with another person at the same time I'm working in her house, when I'm there, look, where I moved from, I used to work at an agency. I took care of my client. I cleaned, cooked, washing her clothes, sheets, mop, dust, took her to appointments. So the jobs that you need to be done, I could do the jobs I'm used to. So, me not working. And then she would purposely have us sit outside, go out to eat. Do that all the time. But we would what else we would do? We would sit in the living room watching what she want to watch on TV. She's always asking me, what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? I'm like, no, you can put on what you want to watch. Because I don't want you to be like, oh, I took the remote. And that's what she has done. She complained that people came to her house, sat down, watched TV. People came to her house, sat down, smoked cigarettes, was on the phone. People came to her house, didn't help her, she would fall, they didn't pick her up. She would say that. She told me that. So I made sure, which I find kind of weird and messed up, but I made sure that if she told me to do something, I'll do it. If she doesn't want me to do it, I don't do it. Simple as that. Even though the help is needed, the help is wanted, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to help you do this, when she said no. Because this is what she told me. She said that, oh, you're not paid to come to my house and clean and work in my house. You're paid to keep me company. You're paid to be my companion. That's what she said to me. That was the exact words she said to me. When she said that to me, I was like, okay. I respect what she said, even though I see what I see, and I know what she's capable of doing and what she's not capable of doing. I just respect her decision, and I just let things go. I just let things go. I was like, I'm not gonna force it. I was never forcing it, but I was repeating myself again, repeating myself in a way that I was saying that I could do this, I could do that. That's what I was doing. But I was like, I'm not gonna do that no more. Because she obviously don't want me to work, because that's what she said. That was her comment. So after that happened, when she had told the agency the first time that she needed a week off, I said, just take me off the case. Give me another case. Take me off the case. Just take me off. Because what does she need a break from? We don't do anything. We just sit there. We just sit there. We don't do anything. What the heck she needs a break from? She needs a break from me? Fine. Take me off the case. It's just simple as that. If you don't like somebody for whatever reason, because that does happen, you don't have to be next to that person. You have a right. So they took me off the case. I didn't work with her for a few months. Then I went, I don't know how I was able, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up working back in her house. Hold on. It's delayed. Hold on. All right, there's a lot of cars, but all I'm trying to say is, I don't know where I stopped at, but they offered me a case, and I asked them for a raise, like more money while I was getting paid hourly, because the job was further.
You want to ride?
No, I'm just walking. I'm exercising. Okay. Oh no, thank you. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thank you. What's it called? I was gonna say something. What was I saying? I was saying something. What was I saying? I was saying something. So I ended up going back to her house because they offered me a guy to work with him, but he was far. I said, yes, I'll take the case, but I need to get paid more. And then they was kind of like, they was talking about to see what to do, if that could happen, and they asked me how much I would want. I was like, okay. And they was like, well, for the time being, do you want to work here? And I told them no. If she has an emergency, she needs help. It's an emergency, I'll come and help her, but I don't want to take a permanent case with her anymore because of the pattern that I seen and what she said. Like she said she needed a break. So when that happened, they was like, okay, yeah, she does need help. Can you go in this, that, and the third? And I was like, okay, and I ended up working with her. That's how I ended up working back with her. They never talked about the guy. Even when I asked them, they never, they said they would get back to me. They never got back to me for real. So I was like, okay. And I stayed with her. And it was my fault because I stayed. It was my fault, you know? So, when I went, she ended up moving to a new house. So I went back to her house. The lady did the same thing, but it was worse. This time, she's like, "Oh, here's a remote. Sit down, watch whatever you want on the TV." I was like, "No, put on your show." I'm not gonna do that because she's the type of person like she's like, from what my mom says, she's very threatening. I don't know how to say in English. Like, she'll try to tell you to do something, knowing that you're not supposed to do it, then get you in trouble because you did it. Or she'll do something, you're not aware of what she's doing, and you know you're not supposed to do it. Then she could try to get you in trouble legally, or try to hover over your head for you to do things for her that like she's almost like blackmailing basically. That's what I got from her, and that's what she did. Because when I was giving her the rides, one day she started saying, "Oh, you're not supposed to give me rides, and you do. You're not supposed to." And I'm like, and the way she said it, I'm like, she didn't say it like she was grateful. She's appreciative that we giving her the rides. She said it like, "Oh, you're not supposed to do this, and you're doing that, and that's not right," basically. And I'm like, and I thought it was so bizarre because I'm like, it was like out of the blue that she said that. It was out of the blue. So I was like, something not right here. And I told her, it's true. I'm not supposed to, like, I'm not supposed to give you rides, you know? But when she said that, and I was like, something ain't right. But when the insurance gives that company money and I don't show up, the company has a lot of explaining to do. They have a lot of explaining to do. And plus, if the client keeps declining help, declining my hours there, they have to do an evaluation. They have to see, okay, maybe the hours that you're getting, you need all those hours because you keep declining help. Or do you need to go to the doctor to get like checked? Like, is there something going on? Or are you going through a mentally, something, you're triggered by something, or you are, you're going down that spiral that, not to disclose, like when somebody is, okay, so I can use an example for you. When I feel like I am, I'm depressed about something, and I could get into that deep, extremely deep depression, there's certain signs that I see. So what I do is, when I notice those signs, I work on it. So if I start eating a lot of pastries, like sweets, back to back, nonstop, I'm full but I'm still eating, I have to say stop. Something's wrong. What's wrong? I have to talk to myself. If I don't want to brush my teeth, I have to evaluate why I don't want to brush my teeth. If I don't want to take a shower, because all of these things falls into depression. It's not laziness. It falls under that umbrella. So I have to, because I'm not the type of person, I like to smell good. I like to feel good. And the first confidence boost, God first. You taking a shower, coming out the toilet, coming out the bathroom, smelling fresh. No one can tell you anything. You good. You got clean clothes on you. You good. So that's what I have noticed in the past. So for me, since I'm aware of that, and I did suffer, through that before, when I was in deep depression, I haven't gone to the depression where I wouldn't eat. Like when I'm depressed, I gain a lot of weight. When I'm stressed out to the max, I gain a lot of weight. When I am like sad, I gain a lot of weight. So when I notice these things, I have to call after myself. I'm like, stop. You know, watch what I'm doing, watch what I'm eating. If I'm not sleeping at a certain time, not getting good amount of hours of sleep, I have to check myself, you know? And I've been triggered so much. I've been triggered so much. I have been getting triggered. And I try to like, I don't know. I try not to do certain things I used to do to get out, certain state of mind, you know. That's why today, when I was on that phone call and I was like, I got frustrated. My temper went high a little bit. And I started talking about what happened. I was like, I need to go for a walk. And as soon as I said, I'm like, yes, I'm so happy to grateful that my mind is becoming strong again. Becoming like, I don't like, I don't physically feel the endorphins releasing when I'm walking, but it's like the need, the want, you know, that, oh, I could do this. Like, since I've been wanting to walk this path, like this one right here that I'm working right now for a minute. And this thing is a killer. It's not easy. But every time I was walking, I was like, oh, I want to do this one. I want to do this one. But this day I'm gonna do that. This day I'm gonna do that. Yes, the time is not the best because the best time for you to work out, for you to see results, like fast results, is like 30 minutes from the time you wake up. After 30 minutes, you won't. I don't know. There was like there's proof what I'm saying is true. Like within the time you wake up, you get up and you work out. That's like the best. So um, I'm not consistent on that part, and I will be. But the fact that I was like, oh, I want to go for a walk after having that conversation, like before the phone hung up, I was like, I need to go for a walk, and then I was just annoyed. And I know I'm going through something right now. Like I'm triggered. Like I'm so triggered. I am extremely triggered. I am extremely triggered because there's different signs that I know I am, and I need to handle it differently. Like how I've been handling it for the past 3 years. I need to handle it differently. You know? Yes, I do pray. Yes, I ask God to help me, but I need to also be physical about it. I need to be walking. I need to be working out, and I do have so much anger, and I just do have so much like why questions these things are happening. But at the end of the day, I can't just keep asking why and just sitting down and laying down, or asking why and not physically doing something about it. Not that I'm not being proactive to looking for another job. I'm not being proactive working another job. I'm not being proactive to get on an appointment, looking for a solution. Is the proof is there that I'm not, like, I am doing that. The proof is there. But what I'm trying to say is if I'm not mentally releasing these things that's triggering me, releasing like these weird stuff like that's out of my control, I'm just harboring all these crap in, and I'm just getting bigger. I'm just like getting overweight over and over again. I lose the weight and I gain it back again. I lose the weight and I gain it back again. Every time I think I'm over something, technically I'm not, and then something else happened, and then I'm just piling up, harboring all these things in, and I'm not physically releasing these things. And again, I don't physically feel the endorphins releasing, but the wanting to work out, walk, and just moving my body, that's like the proof in the pudding. Like physically wanting to do something when something horrible is happening, and I'm triggered. Instead of me sitting down here, yes, I eat my pasties, treats, or whatever, but I'm actually moving my body. Ooh, somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? AAA. Hello? That was AAA calling me about my membership. And I don't have AAA right now because I can't afford it. So it's just so frustrating. Like, I don't know if I could take a walk here. I need to call them if I could take a walk. That would be a nice walk with the kids. Yeah, so me just not moving my body and all these things that happen is not good. Again, as I said, I feel the burn, I feel the pain as I'm walking, but I don't feel like the happy hormones that, what that chemical release from my brain where, as I'm moving my body and working out, that releases, I don't feel it. But I do desire to walk. I do desire to move my body, and I have to do certain exercise when I like starting now because since I am extremely overweight, like I believe I gained more weight from the time I started to lose weight again, like 6 months ago. I believe that I gained more weight. And I do. I honestly do. So now just like, I don't know. I want to get some workout gear too because I want to get, I think, oh no, that'll be too much for my back. And that'll be hot. Like my weight is enough. Like me walking, I'm heavy enough. Because when people see me, they're like, what's that weirdo doing walking? And the way I'm walking, it's not like people walk, but it's like it's not common, so you get looks, But I don't know. That really bothered me today. Like, I'm like, why would they? I don't know. And I'm not surprised. I knew they was going to do something like that, but I didn't think. I knew they was going to try to do something like that, but after I said like I need time, I didn't think they was going to put that down. But In the name of Jesus, I'm gonna get my unemployment. I waited, and it's my fault because I waited so long to do it too. I should have done it when the lady started her crap again. 1 minute I work, 1 minute I wouldn't work. It's just, I'm just so annoyed with myself. Oh, my back hurts, man. Whew. I need to take a break. And I need to do core workouts because my gut, it protrudes out. So that's adding weight to my back, my lower back. So I need to fix my core, like work on my core so it'll be stronger. So I need to do some core workouts. Whew. This was not something easy, but I did it. I don't know if y'all could see. Y'all can't see how far I walk from here. And that kind of hurts now more because I'm going down a hill. And that's what I was saying. I know some of you guys was not on my live. It's not even on this live right now. But I'm going to keep this live up. The other one I did yesterday, I didn't keep it up. Because I was very personal. I was saying some things like, I kind of thought about it as I was thinking about, as I was talking. And first I was like, oh, I'm going to leave it up. But when I was on the live, this other YouTuber that I follow went on live too. So I was like, maybe I'm not going to keep it live. So it stayed on private, and I never unprivate it. So I might delete it tonight. But anywho, I was talking about the guy that I was interested in, like knowing his age and stuff like that. I said that if he was 29, I wasn't gonna be interested. Like 30 is young for me too. I wasn't gonna be interested. So he told me he was 31. So I was like, oh, he's 31 years old. I was like, But it was something that he did yesterday that just made me like, I'm gonna lay off, I'm gonna back off. Not that anything would happen between him and I, but I feel like I may not be his cup of tea because, I'm a plus size woman and I am, I still got young children and I don't think he has kids. I don't know. But with Haitian men, not that I'm stereotyping, but in the past you have met a lot of Haitian men that has a lot of, like you hear stories about a lot of Haitian men having family back in Haiti or in a different state. Like they're active in their child's life, they send money for the child, they're financially straight, but they have another family at another state, or a different country. So if they're in a different country, they can't be actively there for them. But they send money. They send money to make sure like the family is good. But I was interested to know. But what happened was you guys was not on the live. Still is not a lot of people on this live. But what happened yesterday is, Dad, why people drive so slow when they... What happened yesterday was, so this is what happened. So there's another lady, right? She's older than me, and the first, like, I had asked him to do something. I asked him to sit next to my mom because, I was doing something and my mom was doing
in the other room, and I just thought it would be like I just thought it was a good idea for him to sit next to her. She speaks Creole, he speaks Creole, and they can keep each other company, you know? So I asked him to do that, because, and plus I just wanted to have a reason to talk to him. To be honest with you guys, I'm gonna go into Subway, see if they can give me a free cup of water, because my mouth is dry and my back hurts. Ooh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's like going water. Oh man. I forgot what I was talking about. So this is what happened yesterday with the guy. Oh no, the first time what I noticed is that the girl, she sat right next to him when he was sitting with my mom, but she sat so close. Like I keep saying that, but I think it's just me. I just feel some type of way about it. But if she could have sat on his lap, she would have. Then she exchanged number right there with him. And after they exchanged numbers, when he was leaving his dismissal, you should see the type of hug that she gave the guy. It was like, oh, see you later. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So, and it was just me. And plus, um, I mean, I don't normally pay attention to like individuals, male guys, because, I just don't. Ooh, my lower back is bothering me so much that I feel like I need to poop. TMI. That's how bad it's hurting me. Like it's tightening up. That hurting me. I really need to do that core workout. But and I'm kind of excited to see how I would look when me being consistent, working out, doing some exercise, how everything would look because I see some like it was this one girl. She's younger than me. She's not the same age as me. So I don't know what it's called, but she could lose weight faster than me and get toner faster than me. What I was taking from her experiences, how sculpted she was, how like she was like losing weight like everywhere evenly and nice. Nice. Like she gained weight, you know. She just graduated 4 year school plus some years. She just graduated. She was on birth control. She was on birth control. What else? Um, she basically, when you in school, you think about your studies, not think about you're not really actively working out unless you're an athlete. So you're bound to gain a few more weight. So soon as she lost weight, she was doing lost weight. But before she graduated, she was doing Pilates. She was doing Pilates, and I'm gonna have a see right there. Cause my back, whew, it's like I have to poop. That's how bad it is. She was doing Pilates, and that girl lost weight nicely. Like everything was sculpted, and like everything became toned. I was like, whoa. So I did do one session of Pilates, and the reason why I was interested in Pilates too, because you can stretch. Oh, I did not fart. That was a chair. Oh my goodness, it's supposed to be good. This it. Oh, I need to. What walking does help you to poop too. So that could be another thing why I feel the urge to poop. That could be another thing. I forgot about that. That's another thing too. Like when you walk, it helps you with your bowel movement. Um, what else I was gonna say? I was gonna say something I cannot remember what I was gonna say, guys. But the girl was doing Pilates and she was scoped. Like she was doing hot Pilates. I never saw her do cardio, but one thing she was doing was that, and she was a dancer all her teens, all her younger years. So she always had like that, shape. But then her mama is thick, like not fat thick, but her mama had thighs and you know big glutes. And she's African American. Not that I'm saying all African Americans supposed to have thighs and glutes, but because I don't have the butt, like I have like a weird shape butt. But anywho, that's not the point of what I'm trying to say. Her mom is like her mom has a shape, a beautiful shape, and she was bound to have like a beautiful shape too. Plus, she was an athlete when she was younger, and then she also, as she got older, she became, you know, well, she was still like a dancer, whatever. But when she started to do Pilates after she gained all that weight, it wasn't like overnight she lost weight, but she you saw the rapid change. She didn't lose weight overnight, but you saw the sculpting, the definition of her body changing quicker. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I wanted to do Pilates. So I did Pilates for beginners one time. I never did it. I don't know. It's just something with me. Like sometimes I don't. I'm not. I don't. Uh, how would I say this? For some reason, I would just stop. If I start something, I just do it one time, or if I do it a few times, I just stop. And it could be a good thing or bad thing. So I'm trying to break that habit and build a healthy habit to be consistent. So, was it hard? Yes. Um, I was like, oh, this is okay. I do what I did notice. I said I need to make more room in the living room to do that. Oh, somebody else is calling me. My son's dad. Hello.
So
Mhm.
the players that played for 10 and 15 years are not common. That's not really how long most of the players last. So, and the ones that do last long, they're working out all the time. He's gonna have to, and they can't eat certain. They're eating a certain way
Mhm.
because you
Yeah,
gotta
that's
stay
what I
in
was saying
shape.
to him. Like Shaq has candy out, but Shaq wasn't eating that before his prime. Even at his prime, he wasn't eating all these candies that you
If
see
you
at Walmart.
if you're a professional athlete and you want to last, your diet is part of it. Some players can get away with it, but if you don't correctly when you're working out and you're not going to be to train to prevent injury. So it's like if you like to just you could take out and just eat a bunch of junk food, but it's probably going to shorten your career if you want to last. You got to work out, not do certain things that other people are doing that you might want to do. So you got to like sacrifice if you really want to do what you're saying you want to do. It's not
Mhm.
easy. That's why everybody can't even pay you a lot of money, but you know you have to have some
Mhm.
natural ability. You have to have natural ability, and also you need to work really hard. What it really is. And in the NBA, if you're 35 years old, that's like you're on the older side. So you got to be good really fast. Like you don't have a lot of time to really develop.
Mhm.
When you're like 15, 16, you need to kind of be really good even at that point when you're like a teenager. So he's young. He's only 11, but
Mhm.
he needs to. Some of the kids when they're going to the NBA, they're starting off heavily training when they're 9 and 10.
Mhm.
They're everyday training and stuff. They're doing this when they're really, really young. They're doing this like their whole life.
Mhm.
So I don't want him to give up on what he wants to do. He just has to really work hard. He just wants to do it. He has to stay with it if he wants to honestly really do it. And he has to have some luck on his side. He has to hope that he grows to a certain height to give himself a really good chance, and that's not in his control. Because there are players that are smaller, but if you're under 6 feet, it's really hard to get a spot. You gotta at least be 6 feet tall to even have a realistic chance to get into the NBA.
Mhm.
And 6 feet is really small, but you gotta at least be that. If you're under 6 feet tall, getting into the NBA
Mhm.
is near impossible. You can still there's people that do it, but there's only a handful of people that made it to the NBA under 6 feet.
Mhm.